Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life, and welcome to installment number 40 of Viewers Knives. These are all knives made by you, the viewers of this channel. It's my honor to be able to share your work with others, to inspire, and it's really cool just to see what other people are making in various parts of the world. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it. The first knife we'll look at is sent to me from Gregor, and he's a 16-year-old knife maker from Australia. This is his latest knife at the time of the email. The steel was from a drop saw blade and G10 for the scales. I think this is a great looking blade. I like the texture that's visible on the scales there. Nice lanyard pin. This just looks like a really useful field knife. Gregor, nice work. Now, a 14-year-old maker from Australia, and based on the last name, I think these two might be brothers or cousins. This is from Tom, again, 14 years old, and he made this out of a saw blade with white oak for the handle. Very nice looking blade there. I really lately have been taken to skinnier, more slender knives like this one, even though I make a lot of knives and I call them like chunky or chubby or whatever. This is a really cool looking blade. I just like it. It looks so elegant and very useful and wieldy in the hand. So Tom, very nicely done. 14 years old. That is a very impressive knife. Keep up the great work. Camille is a 13-year-old knife maker from France, and this is the knife that he made. This steel is XC75. I'm not sure entirely what it is. And as far as the wood, I honestly don't know. It's a French translation, Lupa de Tuya. I'm not even going to attempt it, but that's a really great looking wood here. I like the shape of this knife. Really nice, comfortable little finger groove in there. And I can't believe, 13 years old, making a knife like this, that is just wonderful. So Camille, keep up the great work. This is really exciting to see. Also, Camille has a Facebook page and a YouTube channel. I'm going to put links to that in the description below. I'm not sure if the YouTube COPPA thing is going to let you click through his links or whatever. I'm not entirely sure, but you know what? 13-year-old knife maker doing stuff like this, absolutely fantastic. This next knife is sent to me from Greg, and he is from a small town in Oklahoma called Fort Gibson. I've heard of that because of the Art of Manliness podcast, and he just wanted to share his first attempt at knife making. He completely shaped this by hand out of an old file that he had annealed, shaped it, heat treated it, hardened it, and I think this looks fantastic. I like the fact that you can tell it was from an old file, and I love the Warncliffe style blades, but when you think about the fact you can take an old file, some time spent in your garage, and based on the paper shreds on the floor, he made a really good, sharp, usable knife here. And I think that is the coolest thing with knife making. Does not take a lot to get into it. You just have to have the gumption just to go do. So Greg, way to demonstrate that for us. Way to make this knife. I think this looks great. First knife, hang on to it. My very first knife that I made with a file looks a lot like that one, and I still have it. It's going to mean a lot to you one day. So keep up the great work, and thank you for sharing this. Let's jump from Oklahoma over to Maine. Steve is a 44-year-old knife maker from Sabatus. These are the first two knives that he's made. The first one he made from 440C stainless steel, and the second one with the different colored burlap and the orange felt for handles, he made out of 1095 high carbon steel. These are great looking blades, and you know what? It's so cool to see the early knives that people make, because you can kind of see, all the ambitions and aspirations, thumb jimping on an early knife. I never had that desire. I never even thought about that stuff, but Steve, way to go. I think these knives look fantastic. It's really great for you to share these. I like the file work you've done on the spine on this one here. All in all, just great, wonderful work. I hope you're still making knives, and I hope these two are the first ones that were like, yes, I'm going to keep on doing this. Very good work. Nikolaj sends in pictures of these two knives he's made. I'm not sure where he's from, his age, but it looks like a gorgeous place of the planet there. I just love the vegetation in these pictures. And the only descriptions that I have is that the one with the yellow handle is a new one. So congratulations on the new one, Nikolaj. Great looking knives here, and thank you for sharing these with us. Next, we're going to go to Southern California, and Brett is a 14-year-old knife maker, and he's been making knives since he was 8. This first knife we're going to look at was about his 8th knife that he's made, and it's just incredible. You look at the fit and finish. I really like the texturing there near the ricasso, and the quality of the finish on the blade is incredible. And then there's this one, and this knife was actually inspired by my last stitch necker that I had made, and I would definitely say, Brett, you took it next level for sure. Check out that inlay, the wood inlay on the handle. That is so cool. When I think about doing something like this by hand, I'm just like, wow, the respect is incredible for your efforts, and it turned out fantastic. 14-year-old making knives like this, think about that, guys. That gives you hope, doesn't it? That kind of makes me really excited about what's coming down the pike as far as future craftsmen and tradesmen. Brett, keep up the great work and thank you for sending this in. From Southern California, let's head to South Africa. Kian is a 15-year-old knife maker from Mossel Bay, South Africa, and this first knife he's sharing is from 1095. I really like the details that he's put into this. This is a rosewood handle, and just check out that sweeping plunge line. That is so elegant, and then with this kind of decorative file work on the spine, really great work. And when I think about a 15-year-old making this, I'm just like, wow, that is impressive. Now, if you think that's really impressive, check out this next one. This is the first knife he's made by himself. The steel that he used is 14C28N Sandvik stainless, and he put a 303 stainless steel bolster on that was hammer textured. Just look at that. That is amazing. And again, we've got this great sweeping plunge line here. Very clean, very elegant, and I think this was just absolutely fantastic. Kian, this is fantastic work. Thank you so much for sharing it. Thanks for your great email. I'm glad that the videos that I've shared have helped you. And you know what? Maybe I've inspired you in the past, but you have inspired me today. So thank you so much for that. South Africa, over to Warsaw, Poland. Simon is a 15-year-old knife maker, and he got into making knives almost a year ago. These photos here are of his third knife. And again, I'm just kind of blown away by this, this group of young makers represented in this episode of Viewers Knives. Look at this knife, 15 years old. Really well done. Nice brass bolts with their classic lines. Even to attempt builds like this, it takes a lot of gumption, a lot of, oh boy, and even more so to see it through, you know. So my goodness, this is really great. Simon, this is an excellent knife. Keep up the great work, and thank you for sending this in. And we're going to wrap up this edition of Viewers Knives by taking a look at a few blades from Peter. Peter is from New South Wales, Australia, and all he has access to is simple tools and old miter saw blades. And he made these knives from those. I love that. Again, you know, we've got a gentleman who made knives from a file, and then some guys that have made knives from some really good high quality stainless steels, and then from saw blades. So Peter, this is fantastic. I really like the shape of this little one. Looks like a great little tiny little micro utility knife. Like the scale choice you've used on this one. Nice clean looking lines on this blade here. And then wrapping up with this last one, you know, that's a lot of work to put those brass pin inlays in that hole. That is really cool, and I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen a knife that has that before. And I think these are so cool because they represent the fact that, you know what, you want to make a knife, maybe you didn't have all the stars aligned, you know, it's not like every light was green before you set out on the road trip. You just said, hey, let's do this, let's just take the steel that I have and make the knife that I want. And that is truly inspirational. So Peter, thank you for sharing this with us. Alright guys, that's it for this edition of Viewers Knives. If you would like to have your knife featured on this channel, I've got a brand new email address, viewersknives@gmail.com. Send them there and they will get to me. I've had some serious issues with my computer lately. One of the reasons I haven't been doing these Viewers Knives for a long time is because I've probably spent about 17 hours trying to find all the Viewers Knives. It happened to do something with some silly update to my computer. All the emails that I had flagged disappeared, and it's been a nightmare. So I apologize for that. Hopefully we'll get these things going out a little bit more frequently. But from now on, viewersknives@gmail.com. Only a few pictures, please, and I need the pictures and the text to be in the same email. Some people will send me about 4 different emails with like 10 pictures in them, and then one with the descriptor, and it's just really hard for my workflow to do this. So if you could just help me out in that area, that'd be greatly appreciated. Well, thanks so much guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Be sure to leave a comment down below and encourage these makers, new makers, experienced makers, makers that are young, makers that have, you know, close to retirement. It's so cool that there is this thing that we're all into. There's not many things out there other than things that people make and craft that can bring a varying age group together. You know, think about, we've got 13-year-olds and like 44-year-olds, and we're all interested in the same thing. We could all hang out in a garage and have a great time based on the subject of knife making. And that's what I find very fascinating, what I really enjoy about these videos and this community. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.